Hi, I'm Mandy Days Chapman.
And I'm Bria Days, and we are the owners of Beat the Daily Grind Cafe.
And you're watching South Jersey Business with Joe Molineaux.
Welcome to South Jersey Business with Joe Molineaux. Thank you for joining us as we share information, tips, and techniques that can make our business community and your business more successful. Thank you to Stockton University for the opportunity to produce this show focusing on business in South Jersey. In just a moment, we are going to talk to the team at Beat the Daily Grind. I have watched the team and got to know the team as they've been growing a very successful business right in Atlantic City. So let's get right down to business with today's featured guest, Beat the Daily Grind Cafe. And starting off today's show, our owners Shane Kagasi and Mandy Days Chapman. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this. So let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about how this entrepreneurial journey started for you and Beat the Daily Grind.
Well, I didn't know Shane prior to this, but he has become my brother from another mother, so I'm going to let him tell you how we got started.
All right. A mix of two things, I would say. One piece of it was, as I was finishing up my graduate studies at Stockton on the AC campus, I would frequently go to the cafe and built a relationship with the previous owner, and he always mentioned that he was looking to sell it. And then the other recipe, or the other ingredient to this recipe was Second Baptist Church and Mandy's father, Reverend Collins Days. I was sharing with him as we've built a good relationship over the past few years through the church and being at the farm and all types of other things. Mentioned to him about the cafe, and I was looking to buy it, and he said I might have some interested partners for you. So I think it was the day we walked through the cafe. Mm-hmm. Mandy and I met for the first time along with Bria, and then from there we had a couple quick conversations, and we just knew the opportunity that is in that area of town next to the college, and how the cafe was operating at that time, that it was something we couldn't pass up.
I'm sure you hear this a lot when you tell that story. There was some divine intervention, right?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, it was almost like God said, here you go, and we said, thank you, and Absolutely. Just took it on.
All right, so we knew there was powers at work to make this happen, but let's talk a little bit about the partnership, because when you meet somebody, you have to make that judgment call, right? Especially if you hadn't known each other before, how partnership works. So how did that gel? Because you mentioned, I know your sister's part of the business, and you have some really great employees. How did that gel start to happen with the?
It happened right away and very naturally. We both came, all of us actually, all three of us came with our own gifts, and so Bria is very creative, into administration, so in dealing with staff. Shane, business background, so we all had our own gifts, and it just worked extremely well. And I think we meshed very easily together.
Just like a really good recipe, right?
Yeah.
That seems to have all the right ingredients, right? That's great. You operate in a world of big name coffee places. I mean, people are spending a lot of money on coffee, and a lot of competitors are out there. So if you could kind of step back away from your daily operation and answer this question, what brings people back? What do you see that brings people back to the daily? Because I see them, they're coming back every day sometimes, but multiple times a week. What brings them? What keeps them coming back? What do you think the secret to part of that success is, Shane?
I would say it's a mix of sourcing high quality products, ingredients, and things of that nature, but then also the family vibe that lives within our establishment. Everybody on the staff, all the way up to ownership, we treat it as a family-centric type of operation from everything we do. And, going into the kitchen, everything that Dom puts out has love in it because he's talented at what he does, to the front of the house with, the baristas and everything that goes on. We just try not to cut any corners and put love in everything we do.
Yeah, your design, your space is really comfortable. Also, there's always one of you there. I always seem like when I come in, and that's great for people to see that the owner is there, committed to making it a better experience for people and greeting people. And you know a lot of people, and that's always good too. So you're living in the coffee world. I have to ask you both. We'll start with you, Mandy. What's your favorite coffee drink?
My favorite is the Tuscan latte. I'm a butter pecan girl, so I love the Tuscan latte.
Mine's a little crazy.
Let's hear it.
It's a turbo for sure. I just do a cup of black coffee, Italian grinds, and I put recently now mushroom coffee into the black coffee.
Wow.
So it's something I need to get going in the morning.
I've tasted that, and it is something really good. You have, I mean, I haven't tried yours yet, Mandy, in all fairness, but I will. I'm working my way through the menu, trust me.
Yeah, mine's not sweet. So.
No, but
mine's right to the point.
I'm looking forward to it. It does get you going, right? So we just have one more question left for this segment. What's one of the most valuable business lessons? You can each pick one that you've learned since you've come together and opened this business together.
I would say this is my first brick and mortar operation. So managing staff, inventory, keeping up on all bills, because in a brick and mortar establishment, there's so many different things that come up, so many things you got to pay for and stay on top of. So it's allowed me to get better at staying organized and covering all aspects of the true brick and mortar business operation.
That's why I always see you sitting at the laptop when I come in. You're right there.
Yeah, I'm
digging
trying to do
into the
other stuff
numbers.
too, but
Yeah.
it's
Multitasking.
yeah, we try to get it done.
How
And
about
I
you,
think
Mandy?
what I would say, in addition to what Shane already said, is, as he said, we do everything in love. So customer service is everything. People are going to talk about what their experience is. People leave that door and they're rating us right away. And the good thing is we usually get 5 stars, right? And it's because of the experience. So they want us to greet them. They want to have a positive experience. And so making sure that not only is their coffee up to quality, but they're treated well, that their food is delicious, that it's hot, that we're checking in on them. Our customer service is top tier.
Yeah, and it's definitely what I experience when I'm there. All right, we'll be right back, so sit tight.
Thank you.
Let's check out how you can connect with South Jersey business through social media, and then we'll be right back with more business talk featuring the team at Beat the Daily Grind Cafe. We're back with today's featured business, Beat the Daily Grind Cafe. Continuing the discussion, with us now are owners Shane Kagasi and Mandy Days Chapman. Welcome to the show. So how do you guys define success?
I think as business owners, you define success, first of all, as being financially fit and stable, of course. But for me, having a business and being in a business that you love, where that you're happy coming to, that you feel like you're gaining something but giving something. And I feel that every time that I walk into the door at Beat the Daily Grind.
That's great. What about you, Shane?
To piggyback on that, definitely, I was going to say the same thing you did about sustainability fiscally, because if you can't do that, you're not in business. But success at the business we have, I really define it as the camaraderie and the family environment that we have. Just any given day going into the restaurant or the establishment, you never know who's going to be in there, what type of fun, friendly, maybe just any type of conversation that could take place, and just being able to kind of network with everybody in the community, anybody just stopping in town. It's the camaraderie and the people aspect or people element of it.
Yeah, lots of smiles greet you at the Beat the Daily Grind. They really do. I've experienced it. I think your offering is very unique. You know, the coffee that you have on the menu, you have a lot of food choices, things that make people happy. What goes into the decision of what gets on the menu? Because I'm sure you come up with a lot of great ideas. So what goes into the discussion and the decision of what's on the menu and what's not on the menu?
I think a little bit of, there are different components. So first of all, we have an amazing chef. So what are you good at cooking and what tastes good? What's cost effective? What can come out fast? What fits our business as a whole? So we're a cafe, so we want to make sure that it fits the cafe vibe. You want to add on to that?
Yeah, I would say I feel like I let Dom and the rest of the team hold the reins on making the menu up. I do recall when we first started, one thing that I insisted on having was the avocado toast because of because it's something that's in and has been in for the past few years, and I think our chef has mastered that at this point, and it's become a favorite of everybody that comes in. But yeah, Mandy can vouch for this. I pick on maybe a bagel. I don't really get in. I let Dom handle it, the team handle it.
And I ask him to make something new every week.
Yeah, try the Mandy Witch.
He's rising to that challenge for sure. I understand that you inherited the business name, and when you bought the business name. But the logo, I really like the logo. So can you talk about how that and the new branding that you're doing, or the branding you're doing? Can you talk about how that all came about?
Sure.
I think we put together, between all of us, maybe 7 or 8 different new look and feels of the logo. But Mr. Chapman, Mandy's husband, actually came up with the winner. We just ended up tweaking the colors to make it look good and feel good. But yeah, we made it in house.
And then too, when we first purchased Beat the Daily Grind, we spent the first month just painting and making it our own, just getting new furniture, building it out to be what we wanted it to be. So we really took the time to not just change the logo, but change the feel and the vibe of the cafe.
So we talked about the vibe, we talked about the decor, we talked about all the stuff that you're doing there, we talked about the people, but my question is this one. In a world where it's very hard to find good people, how do you manage to continue to attract and retain these people that are so into customer service and are so attuned to the customer's needs? So how do you find those people?
We can't ask anyone to do anything that we're not doing. It's in our hearts to serve. I know that I'm a servant leader, so I serve. And so I think that, you follow your leader. And because we walk in with a heart of service and we model the expectations, they do the same exact thing. And if it doesn't happen, then we're also addressing it too. So we make sure that they understand the expectations and what we want Beat the Daily Grind to be. And then we really do take the time to make sure that we're hiring the right people. So one person may not fit that shoe, but the ones that we do have are amazing. We have some of the most amazing staff.
Yeah, to add to that, everybody that's joined our team, has been part of our team and still is with us, is an absolute blessing to our business and our lives. But it's pretty easy to tell that, hey, if we currently have a family environment and our staff works together and gels really well, if someone comes along and it doesn't, keep that same energy, we can tell. So we just try to maintain, strong, loving, and attentive energy from all of our employees.
I can't think of a better way to end this part of the program, this segment, than on that note. So sit tight because there's plenty of show left.
And thank you.
Great, thank you.
But first, a quick look at how you can check out past episodes of the show. As you are aware, management, marketing, money, and media are the essential parts of any business. And when you are running, operating, and managing a cafe, you need to know exactly how to mix up all 4 M's. So it's time for the M4 Big Money Question with today's featured business, Beat the Daily Grind Cafe, with owner Mandy Days Chapman and chef Dominic Barksdale. Are you two ready?
We're ready.
All right, here we go. Let's take them one at a time. Let's break it down. Talk to us about your management and management style, Mandy, if you would.
Well, first I'll just say who you go into business with matters. And so each one of us, owner, has a special talent. That's what I would say. Shane, with his business background, I've always managed people, and I'm a people's person. And then Bria does all of the paperwork. And so we kind of come in with our own approach, and we merge it all together, and it just works. And I'll say, wrap that up in love and customer service, and just making sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. The coffee's made well, everything is ordered. That's kind of what we do there.
I love it. That's that's allowing people to play to their strengths, and putting a team together that perfectly meshes and merges together.
Exactly.
That's great. All right, chef, you get marketing, traditional forms. Tell me about how that works over at Beat the Daily Grind.
So the menu, we all work together. We of course, listen to the people, we share their ideas, and that's kind of how the menu formulated. Like the avocado toast, it came in stages, and then from all the people giving us ideas, that's kind of how that started. So that happened for every menu item,
So then,
even down to the drinks.
So then the word of mouth is important, I guess, because people hear it, see it, taste it, and want to share it, right?
Yes.
So that's good. I guess just that's been and signage, your location is a big part of that marketing too, right? Okay, that's excellent. So then we get to the third M, which is money. It's something we all have to talk about. We need it, but talk about the importance of money in a business like yours.
As we discussed before, we're all for profit, so money matters. There are good days, there are slow days, there are days where we're trying to figure out another way to make money and just being creative, but that it is what it is. We do what we do, and we do it with love, and the money comes in as it needs to be.
Yeah, and when you talked about Bria's ability to do the paperwork and the
Yes.
bookkeeping and some of the, and Shane doing some of the business stuff, and then everybody, again, providing a great product with customer
Yeah.
service, the money flows,
Yeah.
and that's good. That's good. All right, so that brings us to media, which would be something that I know you have a familiarity about because I've seen your social media sites, and I know how brilliant your food is as far as, you know, the images, the colors, the palette that you create. You know, how important is that social media to what you're doing to drive business in the door?
Word of mouth has been integral to everything we've done. I can honestly say they allow me to use social media. Most places don't allow the chef to engage, you know. And I honestly think that helped a lot, being able to, you know, just post. And then the friends of friends of friends, you know, they talk, and it's been great, you know.
I can clearly see that you've created a destination using all 4 of the M's, the management, the marketing, the money, and the media. So that's been great. So, but I do have to ask you, we'll start with you, Mandy. What's your favorite M of the 4 M's? What do you enjoy doing most?
Management. I come in every day, I give my hugs, I talk to every guest that comes in, and just really try to build relationships so that they continue to come back, but then also with our team.
That's great, yeah. Managing people and managing customers and serving customers is a great part of management. What about you, Chef?
I have to say, my favorite part of the day is enticing people with the good food.
I like that. So that would be part of the marketing then.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're marketing through the demonstration of and the creation of food and the serving of the food. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, I want to thank you both for answering the M4 Big Money question today. There you have it. Beat the Daily Grind's well-brewed mix of management, marketing, money, and media. We have some more business content coming up, including another segment with today's featured guests. So stick around for more South Jersey Business with Joe Molineaux. Shane, we meet a lot of entrepreneurs that have a Stockton community connection, and your story really is built around a lot of the stuff you did at Stockton. Can you talk a little bit about what made you start your education at Stockton?
What made me start at Stockton was being from the area and kind of weighing my options of what I was looking at after high school. And to me, Stockton kind of stood out as the best option just because I was very familiar with the area, and Stockton had some growth plans that were taking place with the Atlantic City campus development. So I was very interested in that.
So if I'm not mistaken, you were one of the first students to attend classes in the new facility in Atlantic City, correct?
That's correct. So 2018, I believe, is when the first semester they had classes going, and actually my first class in college was there. And I remember sending the pictures to my mother because I could see the street and building we grew up on from the classroom I was in. So it was interesting full circle moment.
Yeah, I guess so. We both know, because I'm a graduate of Stockton, that they base a lot of their education in liberal arts degree, and they have you take a lot of liberal arts type classes at the beginning. I found those very engaging. I found those great. I felt they sharpened my skills in so many ways. Did you find the same thing based on the basic level classes that they have you take in the liberal arts?
Absolutely, they did. Because in high school, I would say I wasn't the most applied student. So I took college on with, complete new mindset. I'm going to give it everything I got in the classroom. And one of the first professors I had, taught me the meaning of liberal arts, and liberal arts stemming from liberty, stemming from freedom. The more that you know and understand, the freer you'll be as a person here in this world. So I found that interesting. And then, the classes kind of just rounded me more as a person, things I never thought I would be reading, paying attention to, helped me really grow professionally and personally.
I found the offering, and maybe you found the same thing, the diversity of the offerings, all the different types of classes that went into that, background to have the liberal arts base education. I still use a lot of that information today. Do you do the same?
Most definitely, absolutely do. Just because everything that's packed into the curriculum that you have to take and the stuff that's offered, you can apply it to everyday life. Any person, and where we're at, all walks of life reside here, really all over the country. But for that matter, learning something in the classroom that you may have never seen before, when you experience it in reality, you're kind of prepped and educated, at least not new to any concepts.
So you complete your undergraduate degree, Stockton degree, and then you just couldn't get enough of the place, right? What was next for you in continuing education?
Well, yeah. So I stated I wasn't, the most applied student in high school.
Yeah.
I came out really strong my first year and a half, 2 years, and I had a preceptor that advised me there's a program, the dual degree program, that you needed to have a certain GPA to get accepted into it, which I did have. So then from there, I was on a super fast track, but a faster track to getting my master's in business. I think it cut the program maybe by 6 months or so, but I was able to start taking graduate level courses as an undergrad because of, I guess, the performance I was doing. So
That's a smart move, and you took advantage of a great program. Absolutely. So did you ever think that you would start a business and be serving the very community that helped you reapply yourself in education? I mean, you're located right in the shadows of the Atlantic City campus with your business, Beat the Daily Grind. Did you ever think that was going to come full circle? I mean, that's an interesting part of the tale.
yeah, that is interesting. I guess it all makes sense because I was probably subconsciously envisioning it. With Stockton's AC campus going up the same year that, I enrolled at Stockton, that, made me just kind of think forward about Atlantic City and what was to come. And then I think it was in my junior year, the previous dean of the School of Business put together an advisory board. And that was my first real board experience, but there was a lot of local professionals on that board. And the whole scope of the board was to expand and enhance the School of Business throughout the Atlantic City and Atlantic County area. So I think at that time I was really focusing on, all right, what can be done or what's going on in the local economy, and I guess I just started being optimistic to the idea of doing business in Atlantic City. Because at the time I was working and still am remotely in the healthcare space. So to think of having a brick and mortar cafe in Atlantic City, can't say I, wrote it up and went and, made that goal, but it happened. It makes sense.
Yeah, right place, right time, right conditions, and right choices that you made. All those things came together. So I have one last question for you. How important has the Stockton connection been to you both personally and professionally in your career?
I think it's been a huge part, to say the least. Personally, I've been able to meet so many different people, living with friends I met in college. Those are experiences on the personal side that you'll carry forever, relationships that you carry forever. And then on the professional side, I had a great opportunity to apply the things I was learning in the classroom and in my courses to my youngest and earliest professional experiences as I was working in college. But it just rounded me completely as a person on both levels, so it's everything. And now doing business with Stockton at the restaurant, and I've participated as a volunteer for different School of Business opportunities and events they had and stuff like that. So it's been everything.
Yeah. I want to thank you for sharing your Stockton community connection with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
That was another excellent Stockton community connection, courtesy of owner Shane Kagaski from Beat the Daily Grind Cafe, demonstrating exactly how Stockton University positively impacts the local region. And now it's time to shine the spotlight on Beat the Daily Grind Cafe to gain some extra illumination on exactly what this business brings to the community right here in South Jersey, courtesy of owners Bria Days and Mandy Days Chapman. Ladies, thanks again for being on the show and allowing us to turn the spotlight on the business.
Thank you.
So let's talk about what it is that Beat the Daily Grind does. Mandy, if you could start.
Beat the Daily Grind, we serve coffee, specialty lattes, tea, the best food in Atlantic City. We provide event space. We have a phenomenal and beautiful space, a hub for students to come and study, just have some time to self, events for our community, baby showers. We've hosted game nights. So a place for those within the community to come, have great food, coffee, mix, mingle, and just enjoy themselves.
That's great. Now that's a tall order. There's a lot going on there, and I know you have great flex space. You can move stuff around. You really have a great usable space, like you mentioned, for events. But my question to you, Bria, would be, how does that get done? Let's talk about the how of Beat the Daily Grind. How does all that work get done?
The how? My sister Shane, Dom, all our amazing employees, because without them, we would not be able to do anything. But of course, you know, you got to make sure that you have all the necessary materials, like you're ordering all the foods, the coffee, the teas, to make sure all of that stuff is in place. Make sure you have your checklist so you can ensure that the store is well cleaned and just everything is in place.
Clearly you rely on a lot of people, but I love that you can rely on yourselves. And when you have a partnership that has multiple owners, I think that blend of being able to work together and coming together for the greater good of the business is a really good feeling. So that was great. Let's talk about the who. Let's dive right into your customer base. What sort of customers and who are your main customers, the customers that come in?
We have a lot of people that just come from out of town based upon what they see on social media. We also serve a lot of Stockton students and Stockton staff members, our community, Atlantic City residents, seniors from the senior buildings, anybody in Atlantic City. We are, and from the surrounding areas. We serve a lot of our staff from the schools, the local schools. They come and they eat lunch or pick up their lunch and order. So we are serving everyone.
I love that. And you know what I love? Your location is conducive to serving everyone. You have all the down beach that can come up. You have people that come right in on the pike. You're not too far from the expressway coming in. You have all of Atlantic City and all those employees that want to kind of beat that daily grind before they get into work. And after work, they can grab something too. And of course, we know about Chef Dom's food and the offering. So here's the big question. We might have to look in the mirror a little bit for this, but don't be scared. Why do you do what you do? And we'll move it over to you, Bria. Why beat the daily grind? Why?
The customer base. I love hearing how their food tasted, or, oh, I went to Beat the Grind, I had a great experience, so that's motivation. And as well as the staff, because it's like a place where you could feel at home, you can feel comfortable, so it's very welcoming. So everybody loves being there, so it's just a happy space where you can, even though it's work, it doesn't feel like work. When it's something that you love and you're passionate about, you enjoy it, you no longer consider it work. So that's the motivation to be able to maintain that space and provide a environment where everyone has a place to be.
That's absolutely spot on. That's a good why. How about you, Mandy? Let's talk
I would
about
say
your
on
why.
top of what Bria has already mentioned, I've always been a servant of my community, the Atlantic City community. So for me, it's bigger than just us. This is your home away from home. This is your place where you can host your event. This is your place where you can come and drink your coffee. This is your place where you can come and eat. This is your place where you can enjoy yourself and see a friendly face or talk and let us know how your day went or how it's going. Even if it's bad, it's our job to uplift you. And so it's bigger than just us. And so that is my why. The why is for us to make an impact within our community. That's the reason behind all of this.
Well, clearly, you and the team at Beat the Daily Grind are doing just that. You're impressing people, not just with the food and the service, but with the culture that you've created in that business. So I want to thank you both for allowing us to turn the spotlight on Beat the Daily Grind.
Thank you. That
was today's Spotlight, providing a clear view of what Beat the Daily Grind is all about. We'll be right back. Well, that's the show. We had a solid business discussion with Beat the Daily Grind Cafe. Once again, thank you to Stockton University and everyone that makes this program possible. Let's do it again next time. And until then, let's get growing, South Jersey. Thanks for watching.